Hey, I'm back. I know I promised you guys 30 whole days of back to back videos. So we're on day two. I'm back. We're doing it. I know consistency has not really been my thing. We're working on it. So that's what this challenge is. We're going to call this my little 30-day consistency challenge because that's the area I struggle in. But I want to take it all the way back to the beginning when I started doing my videos because I've gotten a lot of questions since I did the video about accepting someone with herpes. And most of the questions were pertaining to like, okay, yeah, that's all cute and cool. Y'all accepted it. I understand why you accepted it. But how did you feel when it was all said and done? Because you seem happy-go-lucky right now. But, you did all that accepting and then you got out of a relationship. And then you found out 4 years later. So, like, you wasn't mad, you wasn't upset, none of that. So I ain't gonna sit here and tell y'all that ain't true. That's not how it went down. So I'm gonna rewind just a little bit, and for those of you who haven't watched the video, you can go back and watch the initial video where I tell my story, and also the video about accepting people with herpes. That'll kind of give you a little bit of background of what I'm talking about, because if not, you're gonna be like, huh. But to catch you up, basically, long story short, I was in a relationship with someone who found out they had herpes during our relationship. I decided to stay. Our relationship ended after a while for reasons completely outside of herpes. And then I did not find out that I had contracted herpes until about 4 years later. And that was just due to miseducation. I had a doctor tell me that I could not be tested for herpes, and that the only way I would know is if I had an outbreak. So it went very long time without being tested, and it wasn't until after, I was educated and learned more about it that I realized, oh yeah, it's been here for a good minute. It's been here the whole time. So now that's out of the way, I just kind of wanted to go back and answer the question that everybody's been asking me in my email lately. So when that relationship ended, like I said, it had absolutely zero to do with herpes, even though herpes causes little issues in the beginning, but after that it had nothing to do with it. We just had our own issues. We were arguing all the time. We had long distance issues. We had I think most of it was pretty much long distance. My self-esteem at that time was pretty much in the toilet, and so I had insecurity issues. He had whatever he had going on in his head based off having herpes. So we just decided that we were gonna end it. We had almost had a baby, we had a miscarriage, so things were just kind of all over the place. We decided that we didn't want to be in a relationship anymore. And so my initial thought when we ended the relationship was, or before we ended the relationship, was I felt obligated to stay for a long time. So I actually stayed in that relationship a lot longer than I probably should have been, simply because in my head, and I know it sounds really messed up, I felt obligated to stay and obligated to be with him because I had accepted that he had herpes, and I had pretty much convinced myself that I was the only person that was going to do that. I know, it sounds completely ridiculous, right? Like, who are you? But I had pretty much convinced myself that I was the only person that was going to do that. And so I stayed because I felt guilty, like, oh my gosh, if I leave him, who else is going to take this on? And all that stuff. So once I got past the whole, you can't leave him because of this thing, and we decided that we were going to break up. And even before that, in the midst of that, I was accepting foolish behavior because of that. So I was dealing with a whole bunch of crap, like him saying off the wall, disrespectful stuff, and me tolerating it because, like, oh, you can't hurt his feelings. He found out he has herpes. He's just going through things, like basically making an excuse for it. So just accepting stuff I wasn't supposed to accept in that relationship. And when the relationship was over, there were still like all types of feelings running everywhere. So one of my initial feelings was, because not too long after our relationship ended, we took our time. I started dating, he started dating. But he did get another relationship, and things were going great, and basically everything that we had discussed doing, he started doing. And so my initial reaction was like a little bit of anger. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was feeling real petty. Because again, I told y'all I had that mindset of I'm the one who accepted you when you got herpes. And, I had convinced myself that I had done him a favor. Um, but on the other end of it, he was still very concerned. He just kept reaching out to me, reaching out to me. Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? Like, I kid you not. It was like worse than your OBGYN constantly poking you. For anybody who's ever had a baby, I know they test you like crazy and they poke you and prod you and run a million different blood tests. And that's what it felt like. Like someone constantly in your face asking you, imagine somebody in your face asking you if you have herpes 24/7. You're not even dating this person. And they're like calling you, texting you. Every time they see you, hey, do you have it? Because we did stay friends for a while. And so I got to the point where I was just like, quit asking me that. Like, no, it's not there. If it was there, I would tell you, or maybe not. I don't know, but leave me alone. So I guess just a little bit of confusion, a little bit of anger, a little bit of frustration. Then I got over it. And a lot of people's biggest question is, how did you feel when you found out? I was pissed to the 10th power. I was extremely pissed. And my emotions were all over the place. One, like I said, anger, because it just kind of brought back up a whole bunch of stuff that I thought I was done with and a whole bunch of stuff that I thought I was over. Like, I accepted you with herpes and now you don't ran off and you don't did this and you live a happy life and now I'm over here with herpes and I'm single and you don't basically left me with something that I can't get rid of and ain't nobody gonna want me. And that's how I was feeling. And then a little bit of shame. Because it brought back up all the stuff that people had said to me while we were dating. Like, I can't believe you. You're crazy. You shouldn't have accepted that. And, if it was me, I would just leave. And what if this and what if that? And, people had placed all these fears in me about what if I got it. And at the time, I was not concerned. So all of the fears that they had spoken and all the seeds that they had planted in the beginning started to kind of come back up. And it made me question things that I wasn't really too bothered about in the beginning. Like, okay, well, who's gonna want to date me? Am I gonna be able to have kids? And am I ever gonna get married? Is it gonna affect my social life? Is it gonna affect my work life? Is it gonna affect this? Is it gonna affect that? So that was a feeling. And then not only guilt, but I would say I was kind of frustrated with God, because like I told you guys in another video, I was just to the point where I was like, oh, so this is what we're doing? Like, this is punishment? Because right before I just found out that I had herpes, I had committed to celibacy, like literally a little over a month before that. So I was a little teased with God, and we had some words. I humbled down and piped down out there a little bit, but I was kind of pissed because I felt like, I can't believe you would do this to me, I don't know, I already sat down and said that I was going to shut my whole sex life down and I ain't going to do that, and I'm a whole that, and now I don't shut my life down. You want to give me herpes? Yeah, I had an attitude. I had a straight attitude. That's exactly how I was. Like, that was my conversation. And so I really got to the point where I was just like, after getting past my attitude and feeling like it was a punishment, I started to see it in a different light once I started to deal with myself and realized that there was kind of a blessing in it, because it kind of made me sit my butt down a little bit. And then also it took a little while, but I did get to the point where I was no longer angry and realized that a lot of the stuff that I was tripping about had zero to do with herpes. Like, my issue with him moving on and being with somebody else at the time had absolutely nothing to do with herpes. It had everything to do with me. And also checking myself and realizing that I wasn't doing anybody a favor by accepting him with herpes. Like, so I think that was also a wake-up call for me, realizing that, like, you're not the only person that's going to do that. People do that. It's actually happens quite often. But I hope that answers you guys' questions. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment below. Go ahead and send them in the inbox if you don't want to comment below, or on Facebook. Again, if you want to inbox me in my email, it is acceptingtheunacceptable@gmail.com. Facebook is just going to be under my first and last name. It's going to be Crystal with a K, last name Jordan. Instagram is going to be under Couture, and it's Couture with a K. So KOUTURE with Crystal. And if you have any questions, let me know.